does location influence your design and color choices? Shai's here to show us some of the differences. So your design aesthetic might be influenced by where you are living, whether you are East Coast or West Coast, and there's a lot of reasons for that.
Absolutely. So that's probably one of the most popular design aesthetics is either East Coast or West Coast, and a lot of people really draw and pull inspiration from it. So there's a couple things. You know, I have a really interesting story. We're going to show a little bit later in this in the show. A story when we were out west, and we were speaking to one of the designers, and one of the things that I noticed was that a lot of the design concepts seemed to be really somber and gray and neutral. And I said to her, you know, for an area that tends to be very rainy for a lot of the year, why is it that you guys really concentrate on having that color palette? And it was an answer that I never thought of.
What was it?
The way that the light comes through the clouds there hits and makes color look different than the way that we here, for example, on the East Coast see it. So it looks totally different, and it's just easier, and it's a lot more, it translates better when they use more neutral colors rather than pops of color.
Oh, that's interesting.
It was really interesting.
You see like that rusticness, the wood, you know, all of those neutrals, the beiges, the browns, and that's because of basically the climate.
It's because of the climate and the way that the light comes through clouds. Very interesting. So I thought I'd share that with you guys. So let's start off with color. Now you might be saying, so this is my side is going to be West Coast, your side is going to be East Coast, and you might say to me, well, why are you holding this up after you just said that it was all very neutral? Because it depends where on the West Coast you are. As you go more south, you're going to get a little bit more warmer tones as the climate becomes warmer as well, okay? So you're going to have a little pops of color there, where on your side, Trace, we have the East Coast here. And
it's subtle.
It's subtle. But the best way to describe like what is the difference between East Coast and West Coast is East Coast, we said, was kind of Cape Cod-ish, but it's very maritime. It's very based on water, where West Coast tends to be more forest, desert,
that's true.
Right? Okay. So let's look at
sand, desert, all of those things.
You got it. Let's look at some of the pieces that we have here. So in terms of colorways, you know, to have these really great, nice pops of color as we go more south again, remember, on the West Coast, that you're going to see that influence there. Now, I want to show you this great basket here in front. I really actually like this, and I think that this is, I'll just throw this here. Luckily, it's a pillow. I can just throw it on the floor. So this actually comes out and now becomes a larger basket. Isn't that super cool? Now, what makes this West Coast? So this has a very native Indian look to it, okay? It looks like a very artisan piece. So that's something that you're going to want to look for when you're looking to have West Coast inspired decor in your home, is artisan pieces. Think about Navajo, think about Santa Fe, think about that kind of very, that kind of southern West Coast feel. Indigenous feel, exactly. Of course, cacti. Now, what's really popular is, you remember last year it was the pineapple was like the big motif. Now it's a cactus.
Good, because they don't die.
No, well, and these don't ever die. These never die. So we're seeing a lot of these right now, obviously in the ceramics, and like you say, Tracy and I kill plants, just so you all know. We kill cacti too. So
I can.
Right? So it's great to have these now. And you're seeing this a lot. This is a lot. It's a fun nod to kind of the West Coast. You're able to incorporate that easily. Of course, scents. Now, give a whiff of that. That's sandalwood. Oh, so sandalwood, amazing. Right? Sandalwood is a great, or scents in general are a great way to kind of, you know, make us think of either East or West Coast. And of course, the fun detail that we have here on the top of the candle, which is the wood and the almost a little pine tree, which gives it that West Coast nod. Now, think about West Coast as we're going a little bit more south in the West Coast. We're coming into like the LA area. I like this. So
I'm kind of a big deal.
Because, you know, in LA, everybody thinks they're kind of a big deal. So you don't have to be so literal. You can be more figurative, of course. Let's go over here to the East Coast side.
Okay, so now we're on my side, and you can see the colors a lot more subtle. A lot of use of wood here.
But the woods are a little bit different. So if you notice, the woods are more of like a driftwood. Rather than on this side, they're more kind of like a reclaimed, almost like it could be a teak, or it could be walnut, it could be pine. So the driftwood look, or that whitewashed look, is going to be more of that East Coast style. Oh, where is here? Okay. So
star.
This is something that I learned, actually. Do you know why the star is such a great motif, or why they use it so often on the East Coast?
No.
So way back when the travelers were coming over to North America, they would follow the stars, and then there was a star, I guess, that was over the eastern seaboard that they would follow, and that's why this became such a popular motif. So if you're on the East Coast, you'll notice on a lot of homes, on a lot of exteriors, you'll see the star as well, which is a fun little nod to East Coast history.
That's very cool. So it's navigational.
Exactly. Now, in terms of color, again, we're looking at the blues, we're looking at the maritime colors, but look at this, Trace. Isn't this great?
Gorgeous.
It has like that detail in it. And
looks like a shell.
Yes, or waves, or it's a very organic feel, a very natural feel.
Lovely.
And then, of course, we have driftwood done in different ways. So whether it's a lantern, you know, kind of carrying a lantern is a very East Coast feel, but the fact that it's in the driftwood with kind of the tin detail here also gives a nod to East Coast design.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's so many simple ways to incorporate it into your space. So thanks for showing us that.